Well, you guys, where we last left off on our videos, Gary and I were up on top of the mudroom and we were putting the rafters in. But unfortunately for us, we were just a few shy. So that leads us to today.
I went to town and got myself some materials.
Look at that, guys. Dun, da, da, da.
So went today and we're gonna get as much done today as possible. So yeah, we'll see what I can get done. But yeah, it is about midway of the day. So
yeah, he had a town trip. I had homeschooling to do and stuff, and now we're able to get out here and get it going. But we can only do what we can do. So we're gonna do as much as possible and see where the day goes.
Yeah, so let's get it.
I can't believe we got that far on the rafters, babe. It looks so different. As Roxanne would say, it changes the whole feel.
It sure does. It sure does. Man, I've already had a day, and I'm hoping the headache is done and over with the day.
Yeah.
You guys have those days where, you know, you're all, oh, I'm gonna go do this, and it should go fairly smoothly. Then all of a sudden things happen, and then you're stuck like scratching your head like, what the heck? That was today.
Poor Gary.
I went all the way to town, go to get, you know, it's Christmas time. Go to get a Christmas present. Started there. Can't sign into Walmart's online thing. Even though I have the password and email, all that stuff, still won't let me sign in. Trying to pick up freaking an order. Should be simple, should be easy. Nope. So finally get that situated. Get all the stuff that we needed for the day, you know, odds and ends. Get in the truck to go get myself some lumber. Go to start it, and wouldn't start.
No.
Go to try to jump it, come to find out my ground is a little loose. And my jumper box just didn't have enough oomph in it to start Biggie. So, and not only that, but I just cleaned out Biggie with all my tools and everything in there, so I had no tools. I was stuck in a rock and a hard place at that point. And I was like, you know what? I go back inside of Walmart. I'm gonna buy a tool set strictly for Biggie. That's gonna never leave out of Biggie. And then not only that, I'm gonna buy a new jumper box that can jump Biggie and any diesel basically out there in a sense. So did that and tightened up some bolts and everything else. And I was able to get her jumped up again and charging. So yay, that was fun. Then I went and got my materials and now I'm here.
Yay!
And I'm hoping that we can get a lot of this done. That headache sort of threw a wrench in everything, you know?
Yeah, don't let it take all the pep out of your step. I'm still like a balloon, man, ready to burst with excited, happy energy.
So now that we're here, I think I got more than we need, but you know what?
Yeah, he might have gone a little bit overboard. But you know what? We don't want to run into any kind of problems. And there's one thing that we still need to do too to these rafters, which I don't think we've discussed with you guys yet. And basically we're setting all these rafters up like this, right? We're gonna end up having to do the valleys that go from the roof and finish connecting it. But going from top to top across the center, there needs to be like a rat run or something, which keeps those from spreading.
Collar tie?
Collar tie? I don't know what the right lingo is. There's a board that goes from that side to that side of those new rafters that we just built, kind of making like an A. And that keeps them from spreading, that keeps any kind of movement to a minimum, and it also just continues to make it that much stronger in case we weren't strong enough. We just gotta keep it going, right? So that's what a lot of this is going to be for. It's gonna be for finishing the job. So it's always a good thing to have more and then not need it than run into situations like we've been running into where we're just that much too short.
Always what ends up happening.
I know.
Always. Let's see if I'm cutting all of them off on that end, maybe, I don't know. We'll see. That guy's fairly straight. That's the top cut. Just set all the top cuts over there, that way. It should be good. Ooh, you are funky. Funky.
Well, while Gary's back there investigating all of the boards so that way he knows which way he's gonna place it for the cuts. I wanted to make a quick mention, guys. Y'all notice the audio is a little bit better today? I want to thank you guys so much for hanging tight with us during our transitional phase when our microphones were out of commission for the last few videos. I appreciate you guys for continuing to watch and your guys' continued support. I apologize for, you know, any kind of problems that it may have caused or stress or anything. I heard you guys in the comment section. You guys were having a hard time hearing, especially Gary, when I'm over here recording because of the distance between him and the camera. But we did seem to work out the kinks for the microphones. So hopefully going forward, you guys can hear us loud and clear.
Should work out nicely. That's good, right?
Mm-hmm. This is good.
You want to push it down a little, you're more than welcome to.
What?
I just need a gap in between these two so I can feel my edges.
Right there.
Bottom's flush on this side.
Yeah.
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 It's more so this and then the angle.
Yeah, I got you, baby.
I'm just giving you a reminder. Making sure we're on the same page. It's it's pretty imperative we get in the right spot.
Yeah, I know. Otherwise you'll be up, down, up, down, up, down. I know. You're good.
So gotta have the knot one.
I know, that knot.
First. It isn't helping that the board is cupping because of that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now, just need to get these guys up. Two of which are going to be a little interesting, but once we get those two done, it should be nice. That one that way. That one that way. Might as well do that one that way. That one that way. I flipped it, so that way you can just set it down that way. There's that one. tape. One that way. Okay. Let's start on the side that I'm at right now.
Okay.
And I'll end up probably attaching 2 of them. Just because I feel like it's going to be a little simpler to just attach it real quick on this side, and then I can attach the other one real quick, you know?
Yeah.
Dang it. I'm not liking that. I can't see that line on that side. Hold that ladder good for me.
I got the ladder.
Hammer. Shin!
Woo woo! One down. A few more to go.
We were young, hearts on fire. Next door kids with dreams to inspire. Life came fast, love took the strain. But through it all, we remained. Alan Jackson was right. Living on love, it's not easy, but it's enough. Through the storms, through the fight, we hold on, and Alan Jackson was right. Living on love, we won't let go. Living on love, it's all we know. Living on love, hearts collide. Living on love, we rise, we rise.
Get that on that side.
Left it all, started anew. Chasing dreams we
Nails.
barely knew. The road was rough, but here we stand. Living on love with our own hands. Alan Jackson was right. Living on love, it's not easy, but it's enough. Through the storms, through the fight, we hold on, and Alan Jackson was right. Living on love, we won't let go. Living on love, it's all we know. Living on love, hearts collide. Living on love, we rise, we rise, we rise. Left it all, started anew.
There's
Chasing
that.
dreams we barely knew. The road was rough, but here we stand. Living on love with our own hands. Alan Jackson was right. Living on love, it's not easy,
All right.
but it's enough.
Yay.
Through the fight, we hold on, and Alan Jackson was right. Living on love, we won't let go. Living on love, it's all we know. Living on love, hearts collide. Living on love, we rise. Living on love, living on love keeps us alive.
We got all of the rafters up.
Yay!
Now, that's minus, the ones that are going to be attaching to the actual house and everything, we still need to figure that out.
Yeah, that's a different kind of rafter because those are like the valley rafters.
Yeah.
So they get a completely different cut. They get installed quite a bit differently, but still along the same lines. But
correct.
Yeah. But I'm really excited, Gary. You killed it with that bird's mouth cut. That one's a pain in the butt in the front.
Yeah.
I know it was causing you a lot of grief.
And I could have, like hindsight, I could have cut out a lot of those things, but I didn't know what kind of pitch I was going with, so I didn't want to cut off too much, or this or that. Yeah, that was a headache. But
yeah, when he was talking to me about it yesterday when we were hanging the rafters, he was like, I'm gonna wait and do this very front one last because I want to make sure that everything pans out. And then when we found out we only had so many of them, he was like, all right, I'm gonna be strategic on where I place these rafters for strength and holding everything up and all that jive. So anyway, I'm excited though, Gary, you made a really good progress on this so far. So I guess what's next for today? We've got about, I'd say we have probably like another hour and a half of sunlight left, and then that's going to be it. So knowing that, what do we got? What are we going to get done today?
So there's a few things that we've got going on here now that we're where we're at, which is really, really awesome. One, of course, we have hurricane straps that we have to put in. We have to put in collar ties as well on all of this that will bring this in. And I'm like dancing on the fence of like, work towards the back and get all that done, you know, and then I can work this way. But then I'm like, I'd rather just get this done so that way I can work that way and not have to come back and visit this. Yeah. You know, so I'm on that aspect. One thing I do need to know 100%, no matter which way we go about it, is what is the overhang going to be exactly and where do I need to cut it? Because now I've got all of the rafter tails where I need them to be, and the subfascia that sits like how this one is right here, that's going to be jutting out past to hold that last rafter / subfascia into place. You know what I mean? So I sort of need to know what that is so I can chalk a line, chop those off, and then we can put a band board or a subfascia on this way, jutting out a little bit, and actually that will be holding that last rafter. That's going to be our overhang. You know what I mean? But that rafter isn't like this. It's different.
Okay, so I'm going to repeat the question. So what do you want to do, babe? So what's the next step? Where do you want to start?
There's a lot to do, all right.
You see what he did there? I asked him a simple thing, and then he gave me like all these other hundreds of steps, and then I get confused, and then he's like, why are you confused? I'm like, I wonder why. Slow it down. Take it back a notch. What's the next thing that we're going to work on?
Next thing I'm going to work on is exactly figuring out what my overhang is.
Okay.
Because without that, I can't figure out anything. I need that to be able to get this board in. I need that to be able to get that board in. I'm sort of at a standstill until I get that piece together. So while I'm doing that, I do have hurricane straps and screws and everything else. If you wanted to start doing the ones in here that you could reach very easily. Okay. Then by the time that I figure out all that stuff and I get that lined up exactly where I want it to, I'll be at a point where I can have you help me out with stringing that line and doing some other stuff. I have no idea. I want to button this thing up. I think that's what we're going to end up doing.
All right, so it sounds like I'm going to be hurricane strapping these rafter tails down. Gary's going to be measuring out everything that is needed for the overhang. Aren't we just going with a 16 or a 2 foot?
Yes, but no, I'm hoping that that's where it lands out.
That's where you got to figure out things.
That's where I got to figure out things, and I got to figure out exactly where it's going to be chopped, because not only do I have to find out that point that it meets, but I also have to take away 1.5 inches because that's subfascia that's going to be sitting up against that. But then I also have to add a little bit to take away for the zip board to come in and land exactly where that all meets in. It's very complicated geometry. Not my friend.
No, it seems to be your friend because you like to hang out with it all the time.
Unfortunately, we're doing angles, so now I have to.
Anyways, I'm going to grab the hurricane straps and start strapping all this stuff down while Gary figures out some more numbers, and then we can go from there, because Although we don't want it to be too complicated, it sounds like it's kind of complicated, but we'll just see how much we can get going on today. We're taking this thing one day at a time, and each step is another step in the right direction. So can't complain, but it's ready to go team go and see how much further we can get along.
The following day.
So yesterday we got to finish all of the rafters and get them all set up and on the building, with the exception of the rafters that we still have yet to create, which are going to be for the valleys that go up and onto the existing roof. Where are we going to start with? Because I know that there's a little bit of finishing touches that we still have to do to the rafters that we just put up.
Correct. So we're going to triple check everything, make sure everything, you know, is plumbed and lined up and everything like that before we start working on the next step, which is going to be the collar ties. And that will finish in tying everything in exactly where it needs to be. And then once that is done and we create that all the way down, we can then come over to the actual tip ends of all the rafters, pop a line, get that thing all lined up, get the subfascia on to where we can now put that last overhang subfascia in and make it to where this is all tied in straight into the house at that point. And then once that's done, we can really figure out exactly where everything needs to line up to get to that peak, because it's really important. This is where it needs to be, and then we can figure out where that is. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Once we tie it to the house up at the peak, it's there. There is no more shifting around that you're going to really be able to get. So today we're going to be shifting and grooving and making sure everything's lined up and going. You ready?
Let's get it.
Let's see it. I'm going to have you take this guy. Got it? Now we can take off this guy. We should be money.
Okay. Moment of truth?
Moment of truth. I'm kicked over that way a little bit. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's still in the bubble. It's still in the bubble though. It's not like,
what is it
it's
on
not
this?
It's not the Gary
same.
bubble, but it's in the lines.
It's the same. So we're playing it. It's off about that much up there, what that gap is. That's funny. A few little cranks here, a few little cranks there. Let me check this guy. Dead nuts over here.
This is looking so freaking good, guys. I'm just still in awe. I'm just like, it's happening. So now that Gary made sure that everything is all lined up, what we're gonna do is we're gonna climb up and on top of the building just a little bit. We're gonna run a chalk line so Gary knows where to cut all of those rafter eaves off at. And we're gonna keep rolling and go from there. See what we can do next.
I keep hearing something in the wind. I keep coming back to you, my friend. Think I'm feeling something new again. Never going back, just take my hand. Something new again. Never going back, just take my hand. Keep coming back to you, my friend. Think I'm feeling something new again. Never going back, just take my hand. I keep hearing something in the wind. I keep hearing something. I keep hearing something. Think I'm feeling something new again.
I'm so happy, guys. We got all the collar ties in.
Yep, and I'm able to safely walk around up there now.
Yep.
And not really worry about it going woohoo, you know?
Yeah, and I don't have to worry about Gary going, woohoo, you know, off of the thing. So yeah, no, I'm very happy with the progress. I wish that we could hang out and work a little bit longer today, but we just can't. The rain is gonna be here in about 30 minutes. We've already felt a little bit of droplets, and it's just time for us to pack it up.
Yeah, and the next step, we've got to zap off the ends of all the rafters. So that way we can actually put that subfascia in. Yep. And then we can have the floating rafter basically out on the overhang for our porch area. Yep. So it's getting there. It's really, really close. But as soon as we cut that off, that will give me my point exactly where I need to make that line going up to that peak. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean, and I don't know if you guys do or not, so we're gonna bring you just a little bit closer because I feel like there's many questions on this, and we're gonna do our best to explain it really quickly. And this is just, again, another thing that we have to look forward to on one of the next times we're able to come out here and build. But we gotta make it quick because it's gonna start raining on us really soon.
Yes.
Yeah, so let's go check this out.
So as you can see, that last rafter, right where it meets the roof down at the subfascia level, it comes to a point. Now, you would think that that would be, you know, the spot. That's where it is, right? Wrong. That's where the OSB and everything meets, and that's where that point's gonna be. You need a minus 1.5 inch, and you also might have to add a little bit more because it is coming at an angle right there. So the way that it's going to line up, hopefully everything the way that I'm looking at it, because I brought the OSB up there and I triple checked all my lines, you know what I mean? It looks like we're going to have like a almost a 30-inch overhang on both sides, which everything is like about 16. So we're going to have one heck of an overhang on the sides. It is what it is. I'd rather have more of an overhang than not an overhang, you know? And it is going to be a good sunroom area, but I don't want to be killing ourselves in there in the summertime when the sun is just like blaring through there. You know what I mean? So that will give us a really good barrier break between everything as well. So I'm pretty happy about that. And it'll keep the water away from it. So once I figure out that point right there, that will make it to where I can bring it to the top point.
Yeah, and so like how you can see it right here, see how that would be a different angle, and how these are coming off like that. They're not gonna come off the same way. It's gonna go angled up like that. So it's gonna be thinner going into the house than the width going right here, if that makes any sense.
Correct. And now I need a couple of chalk lines going up that way. One being the fact that I'm gonna use 2x material, laying it flat like this, going all the way up. Now when I do that and I lay the zip board on it, I'm gonna have like quite a bit of a distance away from there. So I really have to fine tune and know exactly where that mark is, so everything lines out and everything is in plane with the roof, and I don't have any crazy doohickeys meeting up to the roof, if that makes any sense. This has been an amazing build because it's been pretty straightforward, I'm not gonna lie.
So friends, we want to thank you so much for hanging out with us today and watching today's episode of us getting after it, another day's worth of work. Yes. So ask you guys to subscribe if you guys haven't yet subscribed, and we're gonna get back to this on the next one. So until then, friends, we love y'all and we hope you have a good one.
And we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye, you guys.
Later.